I am ready.
Fantastic. Let me pass you over. This is Tommy. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, who am I speaking with?
This is Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. How you doing?
I'm okay, and you?
Oh, man, awesome. Freaking living in Dallas, man. You know how that is, right?
Yeah, I do. I miss Dallas. I don't miss the humidity, but I miss a lot of things about Dallas.
So, Tommy, let's go
Cool.
right into the Purple album. There are some great song selections on this album. Can you tell me how the project got started and maybe some of your favorite songs to play live?
Yeah, actually, David had been toying with an idea for a while. He was hopeful. I think initially that the seed of the idea came from his desire to actually maybe hook up with the guys, the guys with Purple, Blackmore and Ian Pace, not John Lord, of course, because he's left us now, God bless him, and the rest of the guys, and have somewhat of a reunion, but for whatever reason that didn't come to fruition. So he did the next best thing, He just sent out a couple of song ideas, some roughs of the tunes that are on that album, and we recorded maybe for 14, 15 tunes, I think, or 16 tunes, if I remember. But that's how it came about. It was just his second choice, really.
Very good. What about the band lineup right now? Is it the ones that that were on the album? Are they on tour with you right now?
Yes, everyone that plays on the record, with the exception of the keyboard player. He just came in and did the sessions. The keyboard player, Michele Lupi, is working with the band on this tour, and hopefully, in the future. And Joel Hoekstra, of course, and Red Beach, and Michael Devin.
Very good, very good. You work with
some... And I'm sure Coverdale's on a few tunes, if I recall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You work with so many great musicians, Black Oak, Pat Travers, Nugent, Thin Lizzy, Gary Moore. Now currently...
I don't know how many great musicians were in the first band you mentioned, but yeah,
we won't get into that.
For sure.
Yeah. Any particular project you felt was your finest moment?
My finest moment. That's a hard question. I've been blessed, like you said. I've been blessed to work with a lot of great musicians over the years, and they're all kind of interdependent and interlaced with one another. I don't know that I've been doing one had I not done some of the others. So I can't really. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to put my finger on one particular situation. It was a real privilege and an honor to work with Randy Rhodes, and that was during the Aussie time, So that was certainly a high watermark for me in my career, and it's think about often, and I always feel very privileged and blessed to have had that opportunity.
Yeah, that's cool. That leads me to my next question. What are your thoughts, of how iconic Randy has become, not because of his untimely death, but of his talent at the time in those early years with Ozzy? Can you reflect on that?
Absolutely, and that's a good point you make. He hasn't become so iconic because he's no longer here. Because that was starting, before he was, before the accident. So you're exactly right about that. Now, it just kind of caught up, and that was coming, and he was starting to become just really, really, really getting a lot of credit for those two records and so forth. When you consider the small volume of material that he has out, it's truly astonishing how just how iconic he has become. But you're right, that was all beginning before he actually left us. So it was just, I think it's always been the case in the world, trying to catch up with Randy. He was so far ahead of his time. We're still trying to catch up, And again, when you consider just how few records or how much material is out there that he actually plays on it, it's truly astonishing, how popular he is. And it's not just here; it's global. He's appeared in places he never ever toured because he didn't get to tour that much, before he was taken, So, I travel all over the place, and I've always get questions, about Randy, and that's the question I'll ask most, my experiences with him and so forth. And it's always an honor to be able to share how not only an awesome musician, of course, but just a really sweet person as well. He was one of those rare guys that had such amazing technical facility, but also had a lot to say. He was very, very, very creative. It almost seems these days that those two elements are mutually exclusive, in musicians. You have some guys that are just awesome technicians, but really, that creative. And then you have guys that are incredibly creative songwriters and stuff that don't possess a whole lot of technical facility. Well, Randy was very much like Eddie Van Halen and some of the other cats out there. There's only a handful of them that could really have both sides of it just totally covered, and it was an awesome experience to be able to work with. When you're around musicians like that, they really bring you up they pull you up kind of to their level, So I owe a great debt of gratitude for that experience, and have spent the time that I did with Randy.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, that's good. And also, even in that era, you teamed up with, your bass player, Rudy. Can you reflect on that? Yeah, the dynamics that you and Rudy have had throughout these years after Randy's death with other bands that you played, and also in Whitesnake.
Yeah, Rudy and I have crossed paths since that time quite a bit, working together. And he's another one of those one-offs, just a really, really sweet guy and a very capable musician, and he has a lot of character in the stuff that he does. He's one of those rare guys. There's only a handful of them, bouncing around these days, and it was not coincidence, but I think it was just part of that whole experience, that I was able to meet someone of the likes of Rudy during that time period, It's a real interesting hookup that we have, kind of telepathic there after a while. You work with someone for so long, you just kind of start thinking alike, musically. So it was, it's always been a lot of fun to work and be around Rudy.
That's good, that's good. You're working with so many artists. How do you see your career as a drummer for hire versus staying with a band long term, or do you find playing in so many different bands more defining to your career?
Mm-hmm. Well, drummer for hire. Well, all of us are for hire, really. Hey, who wouldn't want to have been a Joey Kramer or someone like that that's played in one band his entire career? That's and that's what a true band is. That's guys that depend. Oops, sorry, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm sorry, guys that depend on one another, and the band is not the band unless those particular people are there. It's not the whole is greater than the individual parts, and also they're totally irrefutably dependent on one another, and you can't replace anyone else. That's what a true band is. There are a few exceptions in the case of Bon Scott when he passed, and AC/DC were able to carry on, with another guy. That was a different kind of situation because he passed away, God bless him. But they're very, that's what a true band is, where people depend on one another. And that, of course, would be, I think, anyone's druthers to just play with the same guys for your whole career. Wow. There's some job security there, and it hasn't been my choice so much to be to have been in so many different bands. People list off the name of the bands that I played with, and I think, oh, they seem impressed. And I'm thinking, well, to me, it sounds like I just can't hold a job down, There's a few different ways of looking at it, but I feel honored to have worked with all the people that I've worked with. I've learned from them all, some good things mostly, and some bad things. But I wouldn't trade any of it for anything. It's been a valuable experience and a real, know, I treasure all the people I've worked with. What a blessing, you know, to have a job where you get to, you know, rub shoulders with so many really talented people. And like I mentioned with Randy, you're around those kind of people, and it really brings your level of play up, you know. And that's something I've always tried to take advantage of. You're only as good as the folks that you're working with, no matter what line of work you're in, you know. So, and it seems to really hold true in a band situation, because there's usually so few people involved in it, you know, 4 or 5 people in the band, you know. And, my druthers, like I said, my druthers would have been to have played in one band my whole career, but for whatever reason that hasn't happened. You know, you take the good with the bad and just try to do the best with the hand or the cards that are dealt you, you know. And I can't complain, you know.